Uno, dos, tres. Hola, hola, hola. Good afternoon, amigos, amigas, my friends, mi familia, everyone out there in Facebook sphere, in the YouTube universe. Just gonna wait a couple of minutes here and see if we can build up some traffic. I do realize that it is Easter Sunday.
Amigas.
Woo. So, lots of people are with their families. People are with their families, period, because of what's going on in the world right now. So, I don't know what anyone else is doing, but my family and I are going to do a little Easter family FaceTime later on today. So, I think around sunset, Costa Rica time, we're going to be getting together online with my sisters, my mother, maybe my mother's boyfriend, my niece, my nephews, my daughter, my partner, to do a little Easter get together, because we used to always get together every Easter. Well, when I still lived in Canada, and the rest of my family still typically all gets together for Easter, but they're not doing that today. So this is the next best thing, right? Getting to connect with each other virtually. Hello, Kim. Good to see you. I've got people hopping on here. Welcome back to my kitchen. Happy Easter to you, Kim. Kimmy, my college roommate. So good to see you guys hopping on here. So, this is my shtick for today. I was gonna make a big shtick out of it, but then I got distracted. I got like a chicken butt hairdo. This is my bed head. I haven't washed my hair yet today. And I thought I'd show up in my house coat, because I'm sure most of you guys haven't washed your hair yet, and you're in your house coat still too, right? That's the nature of what's going on in the world. That's what we're doing. Hey Claudia, good to see you. But I'm not really gonna wear my house coat the whole time. I thought it would just be shticky and I would make a big joke about it. But I forgot, and I'm not a comic. But I'll show you something that is funny. I forgot some of my ingredients for today's Facebook Live, so I have to go down to the basement to get them. Excuse me. Not funny? I guess it's not funny. I think it's funny. I think that joke never gets old. So guys, Odds and Ends is the name of this Facebook Live. Odd. Aptly named, I think. So, where are you guys watching from? Let me know who's watching. Tell me where you're watching from in the world. Making sure my audio is good. I always love to know where people are watching from. Hope everyone is keeping safe and healthy. Oh sweet Lord, I know, Kim. Stir crazy. It's been a month, right? It's been over a month. Levi's, how long have you been home? 4 weeks? Full 4 weeks? It'll be 5 weeks on Monday. It's a long time in the house. We have been going outside to walk our dog. Thank goodness for that. We have that excuse. We got Ted watching from New York. Oh, good. Kim says her daughter Audrey loved my joke. So, hey, if I got one person entertained out of it, it's worth it. It's worth my. No, I'm not even embarrassed. I'm not embarrassed. So you got some people watching from Finland. Cool, guys. So, Odds and Ends. I know I've given you guys a tour of my place. I've got some Beth Ann NYS. What's Beth Ann? Where's NYS? New York State? Is that right? It's been a crazy week for us here, not just because of what's going on in the world, but on that macro level craziness that is what's going on with COVID-19. Obviously, has made life a little bit strange for all of us. On a more micro level this week, in our small little family community here in Costa Rica, we've had some horrible things happening this week. A couple of friends of ours who live in our building have lost their 6-week-old daughter this week. Very surprise and tragic event, and so that's been something that's rocked our world, and it's really made everything else that's happening in the world right now not really matter so much. So as much as we complain about being stuck inside and not being able to go out for dinners and go to the beaches here, we have nothing to complain about, because we have our health, we have our family, we have our daughter, who is 8.5 months old now, still with us. So lot of medicine coming up during this time. You know, I was already feeling a lot of the medicine, like this whole pandemic, what's happening in the world is like a medicine. It's like a journey, right? It's forcing us to be with ourselves, to be quiet. And I know for myself, I've had a lot of my old traumas come creeping up in different ways than I'd ever experienced them before. So I've been dealing with that myself. I know Levi, my partner's had a lot of stuff coming up for him during all of this. And now with such huge, like earth-shaking news, like the loss of our friend's daughter has just been, you know, it's put everything into perspective. So please, everyone out there, have gratitude for everything that you do have. Have gratitude for your health. Have gratitude for your family, whether you can be with them physically or not right now. Call them. If they are with you physically, hug them, squeeze your children so hard. And know that there's nothing else more important than that in life than family. Okay, guys, so Tanny says, love all those. Yes, love for all those that are suffering this Easter. Super, super important. Oh my gosh, my coo, honey darling, you've just joined us. So good to see you here. So much love to you. So much love to Ingela. We know that she is in a much more beautiful place right now. So much love. Thank you for joining. I have so many videos of yours to catch up on, and I will be doing that very soon. I just said to Levi this morning, I need to catch up on my coo's coffee talks, because I've been, like, this week has been crazy, so I haven't been able to see them, but I will. I love you guys so much. So good to see you guys all watching here. So yes, my coo says, I love you, Chef. I will come home soon. We cannot wait to have you, my coo. We miss you so much. Okay, so I'm gonna get to the recipes here. So the reason I shared with you about our friend's daughter was twofold. A, because I think it's really important that we use all of these events in life as lessons, and I know her parents would like and want for nothing more for all of us to take this as a moment to recognize the importance of family and the present moment and just cherishing what we do have. But also because last night I brought them up a salad for dinner, and I topped their salad. I gave them some of this recipe that I'm going to show you guys how to make today. So this is homemade coconut bacon, and it's the easiest recipe in the world. It was all the rage for many months, a few years now, in North America. You could buy it packaged, but I want to show you guys how to make it at home because it's really easy. And I call this Facebook Live. I call this Facebook Live. Sorry, someone's not enjoying their lunch over in the dining area right now. I called this odds and ends because when I was bringing you guys for a tour of my kitchen a couple of weeks back, I noticed that I had a lot of ingredients kicking around that have been sitting there for weeks or months on end. So I want to show you guys a couple of ways to use some of those ingredients. So what I had is a ton of this coconut. So this is just dried coconut. It's got, you know, a bit of the brown shell on it still. And this, when I see this in the store, I buy it. There's tons of brands out there. You can buy it on Bob's Red Mill, and like I used to get in when I lived in Canada. And this stuff is so good. I use it in sweet recipes. I put it on my granola. I use it in my smoothie bowls. I throw it into, like, chunks of it into cookies and muffins when I do that. Like a morning glory muffin, one of my mom's recipe, a date carrot muffin recipe that I'm going to show you guys in a couple of weeks. Throw some coconut in it. Delicious. Which is funny because growing up, I hated dried coconut. Ask my mom. She normally watches. I don't know if she's watching here today. But growing up, I wouldn't eat anything that was coconut, as long as it had the coconut texture, because I hated this stringy coconut. Because the other kind of coconut that you can do this recipe with, if you can't get this thick cut coconut, you can just use this regular, like this is like the desiccated coconut you can buy at the grocery store. I make bacon with this at Rythmia in the kitchen using this stuff, because that's what we can get in bulk here in Costa Rica. But I wouldn't eat any recipe that had this kind of coconut in it, whether it was sweet or savory. Just the texture turned me off, and now it's funny because it's one of my most favorite things in the world. So I've got in here probably about 3 cups worth of this coconut, and this recipe doesn't get any easier. Dried coconut. I'm gonna get right into it here. I'm gonna add in some, you could use soy sauce, tamari, aminos, whatever you want to do to give that umami, savory smokiness. So I'm putting in, I don't know, a couple tablespoons worth. You want to just have enough that you're going to coat it, but you don't want your coconut swimming in it. Here, I'm going to tilt this down a bit. Is that better? Okay, I got to show you guys too later. I'm going to post a picture in the comments of my amazing setup here today. I am using a bathroom mirror that's on like the tilt as my tripod, so I can tilt it. And you see, like, Levi, my partner's taking a picture of this setup right now. But I think it's brilliant because now because he's with the baby. There's only 2 of us here, we're in quarantine, so I have this amazing new setup that is gonna allow me to tilt, and I bet you I could tilt it more down so you guys can see, look at that, what I'm actually doing. So here we go. Oh, it's like Real Food Network. So I've got and I could just do this. Hi guys. So I got soy sauce in there, just enough to coat it. We don't want it swimming. I'm gonna add in a bit of olive oil, and I just like this because bacon is fatty, right? And I like to have a little extra bacon grease on my coconut. If your coconut is like more fresh and it has more oil on it, you can omit that, but I think it's important in the crisping up factor because we're gonna be baking this. Hey Zin, good to see you. Tammy says smart. Maiku, we can have coffee together. Yes, I cannot wait to have coffee with you, Maiku. It's gonna be sooner than we even think. So, olive oil, tamari or soy sauce, Bragg's Amino, whatever you want to do. I like to add in, and this is optional, this is a liquid smoke. It's just I add in just a few drops of this. This is literally, it's called liquid smoke. You probably can't see that because it's backwards, but it's a bottle of liquid smoke. I only use a couple drops of it. It's definitely not a health food. It's mostly all just like fake stuff, but it gives it a flavor that's you can't match with like a smoked or a real bacon. So that's all I would add in there. Because my coconut is pretty sweet, I'm not going to add in any sort of sweetener, but if this coconut, I would test it, and I know that this particular coconut is quite sweet. If it wasn't very sweet, I would add in even a bit of maple syrup or something, because that will just bring out that, like if you want, I used to buy maple syrup bacon when I ate bacon, and that kind of gives it that same flavor. So I'm just mixing it all up real well, coating it well is what I meant. Then I'm going to grab some parchment paper. I'm going to parchment line my cookie sheet that I have here. So just a piece of parchment, much better than foil. If you have reusable Silpat or something, that would work too. Then I'm just going to dump it on here. It's going to look more liquidy than you think you would want. But as you cook this off, all of the excess soy sauce or aminos or tamari is going to cook off and evaporate, and you're going to end up. Once you bake this at 350, stirring once for about, I would say check it after about 5 minutes, and just keep checking it every few minutes after that. Give it a little stir once or twice, but it won't take more than 20 minutes. Easy peasy, as long as you have a good calibrated oven. And then you end up with this. And just be careful, because if you're using, depending on your soy sauce or the tamari or whatever you're using, how salty that is, it's going to multiply as you bake it and then evaporate. So this bacon that I made last night was super salty, but I love really salty. So that's fine with me. I got someone saying, why am I watching cooking? Donna, why are you watching cooking? We're not really cooking. We're making odds and ends. It's the easiest recipe. It's not really even recipes. So there, that's why you're watching. And because you've got nothing else to do because you're in quarantine. All right. So what else do you guys want to see? What else do I want to show you? Oh, I wanted to show you guys what else I've got going on. Because people often, guests at Rythmia, ask me for a recipe for the dried fruit that I make. And I have to always telling people that there is no recipe. So the recipe to having the best dehydrated fruit is getting really fresh fruit, letting them completely ripen, whether it's mangoes, pineapples, or bananas, and then get yourself a good dehydrator, and then you just slice them up and throw them on the dehydrator. So I threw in this morning, you guys, and I wanted to just show you. So these are I had some apples in the bottom of my fridge that are starting to go. They were starting to soften, so I wasn't going to eat them out of hand. So I'm going to make applesauce for the baby and things like that with that, but I thought I would dry some because dried apples are really good. So I've got green apple and some red apple. And then this was the most perfectly ripe pineapple. It was actually a gift from our friends that I've just thinly sliced and put on the dehydrator. So this will probably, because we have the air conditioner on and it's not super humid in our house, these will probably, I'll flip them probably tonight before bed, and then by the end of the day tomorrow they will be perfectly good and dehydrated. So I just wanted to show you guys that. People always ask me, what's the recipe for all of those dehydrated fruits at Rythmia? And there's no recipe, man. The recipe is Mother Nature. Find her finest fruits, let it ripen, and that's it. I also wanted to tell you guys something else that I was doing and I'm super excited about is I'm developing a lot of new yoga programming for Rythmia, which is super fun. So I've been designing a bunch of new classes. These are a bunch of the postures and things like that. So stay tuned for that. It's going to be super fun. Just different types of yoga. I'm really thinking about focusing on the chakras each day of the week and the different elements. Fire, water, earth, ether, all of that good stuff. and that's in development, so I'm happy about that. So what's next? What else do we want to do here today? One of my other kitchen faves, something that I use all the time and something that we've done here on the Facebook Lives in the past, is vegan Parmesan cheese. So I'm going to show you guys quickly how to make that. Donna says, someone's very excited about the vegan Parmesan. Who's very excited? Kobe is very excited. She's like, she doesn't get to eat very many nuts yet, though. Sadly, this is a nut-based recipe. Donna says, I can't cook, Meg. Well, that's cool. You're in the perfect place. Donna says, you're my go-to person for cooking, so let's now really listen to Meg and learn. You guys are all so sweet. And that is my daughter Kobe screaming in the background, if you're wondering. She's still in the middle of having lunch. She's eating fresh mango, some of those beautiful fresh ripe mangoes right now. So today I discovered in my cupboards, I think if you tuned in the last couple weeks, we made this is almond flour or ground almond meal. We made this, I think, last weekend. Kimberly says, can you use smoked paprika in place of liquid smoke? I love that on chicken because it has a bacon flavor. Yeah, 100%. I can't get smoked paprika down here. I can only get sweet paprika, so that would be a brilliant substitute. Any of your seasonings, you could throw in some cayenne or cumin into that coconut bacon recipe, make it your own, 100%. But smoked paprika would be a great substitute. Thank you for mentioning that. So I made this. This is almond meal. This was just slivered almonds that I pulverized in the blender. The other thing that I've had sitting around in my cupboard for ages is this bag of macadamia nuts. So macadamia nuts are super expensive here in Costa Rica, but I had this bag, so I figured I would make Parmesan using that. Typically, I make this using cashews, but I had those on hand. So I'm gonna grab my blender. And I wanna make sure that it's good and dry because we don't want liquid in this recipe, because then it's gonna be a powdered version of a vegan chocolate. So I am just gonna go in here with my, Robert says, your chocolate chunk cookie recipe got stuck on another page of your cookbook and I lost some ingredients you need for it. Okay, Robert, I'm gonna send that to you. I'll post that recipe in these comments. Or I'll message you on Facebook that recipe, Robert. Sorry about that. Yeah, we had a bit of a printing issue with the cookbooks the last round. So if anyone else is watching and has issues with my Miracle Meals cookbook and not being able to access all the recipes, shoot me a message and we'll make sure we get you those recipes. Our apologies for that. There was an issue with the printer. Okay, so this is all dried up. I use this blender like 10 times a day, so it's always wet from being washed. I make everything with it. So what's going into my blender here? Really, really easy. I'm gonna use my fancy tripod here. Look at that. So, alrighty, we're gonna start with, I'm gonna start with my macadamia nuts. So I'm gonna just pour some of these in there, about like a half a cup's worth, maybe a bit more. I'm gonna go for a cup. We'll just do it all. Why not? Almond meal. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna pulse these down first into a bit of a powder before I get started. So, heading over to my blender. Now I just need to be really careful here that I don't make this into a butter, because macadamia nuts are so soft. They're probably the best nut for using in creamy vegan cheese recipes, because they do pulse down so quickly and so creamy. But I don't want that. I want this a powder, not a cream. So, being very careful. Okay. Yummy. Someone's pinching the baby. All right, so this is how far I've gotten it. So it's still pretty chunky, but I'm okay with that. I'm gonna add in a little bit of the almonds, just because I like to have the textures, and the almonds is gonna help absorb some of that moisture from the macadamia nuts. And then, so this is the cheese essentially, right? We wanna add in some other ingredients. I'm gonna add in some garlic. So this is dried garlic in little tiny pieces, and it's gotten a little bit stuck together because of the humidity. So I'm gonna put that in there. I'm gonna add in some onion powder. So I've got garlic and onion. A little bit of onion, which is also, humidity in this country is legit. So remember how I said that it wasn't that humid in here? I'm lying, guys. Well, the reason is could we turn off our air conditioning when we're not here at night, so it does get a little bit warmer in here. Hi guys. And add some salt. Just some pink Himalayan sea salt. Not gonna add too much. And then this key ingredient is nutritional yeast, and this is my favorite. I use it all the time in here. This is what gives things a nice, really cheesy flavor. All of these vegan cheese recipes, nutritional yeast, which is just an inactive yeast. And then I'm gonna put this back on the blender. La 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 la. I'm singing the song of my daughter's plaything. It's always in my head. It's already looking so good. I'm gonna give it a little stir. It smells cheesy-licious. Cheesy-licious. Bada boom, bada bing. Then we're just gonna put some, on a plate here. Dun, dun. Look at that, and that is our vegan Parmesan. Easy peasy, does not get more simple than that. So we've got our vegan Parmesan and our coconut bacon. The two simplest, easiest things that make any plant-based meal shine, like add these two to the top of a salad, your salad goes over the top. Add these two things onto a vegan burger, you're vegan over the top. These are really important recipes to have if you're trying to eat more plants. I have this, this was a store-bought vegan Parmesan container that I'm gonna now reuse. It's got a great little, it's got big holes here, so I'll put some of this in there, put it in the fridge, and the rest I'm gonna put in the dehydrator, because it will be better and last longer if I get rid of any of the extra moisture in there. So I'm gonna put that in the dehydrator and let it dry out. Otherwise, you can put it in the freezer and store it in the freezer, because nuts, keep from going too bad and going rancid by storing them in the freezer. That's it, my friends. That's all I have for you today. I hope that gave you a bit of something to do. Anyways, on this Sunday on quarantine, I'm just checking to see what I've got going on next week. April 19th, isolation eating. So next week I'm going to talk about, eating in isolation. No, I'm going to talk a little bit more just about what might be coming up for you during this time. I've been watching social media and seeing a lot of messaging about trying not to lose weight during this time, or the fact that yes, we are all going to lose weight during this time because we're stuck inside, and there's just so much coming up for me around that stuff because of my history with eating disorders and overeating and over-exercising and all that stuff, and I think it's something worth addressing. So I'm going to talk about that next week. So that will be next Sunday. Make sure you tune in. We've got tons of Facebook Lives going every day for you guys, to keep you guys connected to Rythmia, to keep you guys connected to the medicine world and all of its teachings. Dr. Jeff will be live tomorrow night. I know John Jacob and Paola have been doing these amazing meditations live most days. John Jacob's got his Walking the Path Facebook Live. Jerry will be coming to you guys live this week. We've got Kim Terranova, just such an amazing team at Rythmia that we are continuing to do the work during this time to keep getting the healing and the love out there. And in the meantime, I wish you guys a happy holiday weekend if you're celebrating. If not, I wish you just another beautiful Sunday moving into another week of this crazy world that we're living in. Stay safe, stay with your light shining, and give lots and lots and lots and lots of love to your family and to your friends and to everyone that matters to you. Someone's asking if there's a schedule. Usually the lives are listed on the Rythmia Facebook page under events, so you can usually get an idea of when we're going to be live via that. Okay, guys, I love you so much. Have a beautiful week, and we will see you next Sunday. Ciao.